In a world where the mind is filled with noise and the search for truth is tangled in thought, two voices emerge, sage and dashta. Sage is the seeker, the one who questions, who peels away layers of understanding to uncover what lies beneath. Dashta is the knower, not because of accumulated knowledge, but because of direct experience, seeing life as it is, without distortion. Together, they embark on a journey, not toward more knowledge, but toward knowing. Not toward answers that satisfy the intellect, but toward truths that dissolve the very need for answers. Each conversation is an exploration. Each question is a doorway. Each moment of stillness is a glimpse into what has always been. This is not a teaching. It is a dialogue, a movement of insight, a space where words lead not to conclusions, but to deeper seeing. And so, the journey begins.
Dashta, what is doubt? Is it a tool that helps us gain clarity, or is it a trap that keeps us stuck in hesitation?
Let's examine doubt as if we have no prior knowledge of it, as if we are experiencing this sensation for the first time. How would I name it or recognize it for what it is? It is easier to talk about something when there is no existing information about it. But how would I know that I am feeling doubt? If I have no idea what I am experiencing, how would I name it?
If we strip away all prior knowledge, if we do not yet have a word for this sensation, how do we recognize doubt? What are its qualities? How does one know they are experiencing doubt if they have never named it before?
For the first time, I find myself standing before a vast cave, high up in the mountains, far beyond the reach of an ordinary walk. I had to climb to get here, just as I did today. Now I stand at the entrance, gazing into the darkness. The walls and rocks are shadowed, allowing only the faintest traces of light to filter through. As I peer inside, something within me stirs. My past experiences tell me that caves, especially ones like this, are often home to bears. And bears, when disturbed, do not welcome uninvited guests. I feel uneasy. A split arises within me. One part of me says, "It's fine, step in." Another, unfamiliar voice whispers, "Be cautious, check before you enter." But this second feeling is new. It is not the raw instinct I have always relied on as a cave dweller. It is something different, something arising not from my body, but from my mind. What is this feeling? Where does it come from? Why does it not command me like instinct does, but instead leaves me uncertain, questioning? For the first time, I do not simply act, I hesitate. And in that hesitation, doubt is born.
That is a profound realization, Dashta. Doubt is not the same as instinct, nor is it direct knowing. It is something in between. But if doubt is hesitation, then what is its purpose? Does it exist to protect us like instinct? Or does it exist to trap us, keeping us from acting?
As a caveman, the closest feeling I have known to this new sensation is fear. But fear is different. It drives me to run, hide, or fight for my survival. It is immediate, it is instinctive, and it does not ask questions. This feeling, however, does something else entirely. It stops me in my tracks, not to flee, not to fight, but to pause. And in that pause, I do not act, I do not move. Instead, I find myself thinking. But thinking is not a strong ability I possess. As a caveman, I live by instinct, not by prolonged thought. Yet this feeling forces me to consider, to question. It is like fear, but it does not command my body. It lingers in my mind. So what should I call it? Should I call it double? Because it splits me into two. One part ready to go forward, the other part holding back? Or should I give it an entirely new name? I will call it doubt. Because doubt is fear with a brain. It is fear that does not act. It questions, it hesitates, it lingers in uncertainty.
That is a fascinating discovery, Dashta. If doubt is fear with thought, then does it serve a purpose? Does it protect like fear does, or does it become a trap that keeps one stuck between action and inaction?
Now that I have discovered this new feeling and named it doubt, I will share it with my family and my fellow cave dwellers. Each of us will learn to use this sensation wisely to our advantage. For thousands of years, we will know the difference between fear and doubt. Fear compels action, doubt invites thought. But as time passes, as our way of living changes, we will begin to forget. Slowly, we will lose the true meaning of fear, mistaking it for something to be avoided rather than understood. And in the same way, we will forget what doubt truly is. Doubt, once a friend, a tool, will become an enemy. Instead of using it to sharpen our awareness, we will allow it to paralyze us. Instead of seeing it as a moment of thoughtful hesitation, we will label it as a weakness, a flaw. We will start to use the word doubt not as a natural state of questioning, but as a sign of uncertainty and failure. When we lack knowledge about something, we will call it doubt. When we hear something that does not align with our beliefs, we will call it doubt. Doubt will become confusion, hesitation, and mistrust, instead of the tool it was meant to be. In forgetting what doubt truly is, we will turn it into a burden, rather than the gift it once was.
That is a profound shift, Dashta. If doubt was once a tool but has become a burden, how can we reclaim its original purpose? How can we use doubt without being trapped by it?
We return once again to observation and seeing. If I wish to understand doubt, I must start exactly where I once stood, as a caveman, encountering it for the first time, free from the weight of definitions and conditioned beliefs. I must look at it carefully, without giving it a name. To do this, I need to slow down my thinking and simply sit with the feeling, not resisting, not judging, just experiencing. No matter how doubt has made me feel in the past, I choose to stay with it now. At this moment, my thoughts may be rational or irrational, but that does not matter. What matters is my ability to observe without interference. In watching doubt as it arises, I begin to see its foundation. Is it here to help me make the right choice, or is it a barrier, stopping me from taking any action? In most cases, doubt is not an enemy. It is a signal guiding me toward the right decision, a force meant for my benefit, not my paralysis. Doubt, when observed without resistance, reveals itself not as confusion, but as clarity waiting to be seen.
That's a profound realization, Dashta. So if doubt is meant to guide rather than hinder, then where do people go wrong? How does doubt turn from a tool into something that keeps people stuck?
Our misunderstanding of intuition, from which doubt arises, has led us to this point. As so-called civilized people, we are bombarded with an endless stream of signals, information, opinions, and distractions, all demanding our attention. Our brains are overloaded, unable to process everything at once, and so we begin to rely less on ourselves and more on external voices. Somewhere along the way, we stop trusting our own knowing. We learned to depend on someone else's opinion rather than our own. We became hesitant, second-guessing every decision. We cannot act without searching the web, without consulting Google, without seeking validation from others. But this is not new. In the past, people turned to different sources for guidance, priests, elders, or sacred texts. Now, our higher authority has simply shifted to technology and mass opinion. And so we have become like a mouse in a cage, endlessly searching for a piece of cheese that was eaten long ago. We run in circles, chasing answers outside ourselves, never realizing that the knowing we seek was within us all along. In this confusion, doubt is no longer a tool, it becomes a trap. Instead of leading us to clarity, it turns into endless questioning. Our minds become highways of unconstructive thoughts, flooded with traffic that never leads anywhere.
That is a profound realization, Dashta. If people have lost trust in their own knowing and have become trapped in this mental traffic, how can they begin to clear the road and reclaim doubt as a tool for clarity rather than confusion?
Here I am, stuck in rush hour traffic, moving slowly along a highway with 6 lanes, yet everything is clogged, slow, and frustrating. As I sit in my car, I begin to wonder, where are all these people going? Are they heading to the same place as I am? Or am I just following them, assuming this is the only way? And then a realization strikes me. It is not that they are going where I am going. It is that I am going where they are going. I look around and see that this path feels like the right one, simply because everyone is taking it. The sheer number of people moving in the same direction makes it appear as though this must be the only way. But then I ask myself, is that really true? Is this the only path to my destination? Could there be another road, one with less traffic, more peace, and even a clearer way forward? Perhaps this other road is not as visible, not as widely taken. Maybe it appears longer, more uncertain, or even unconventional. But deep down, I sense that if I take it, I may reach my destination faster, with less frustration, and with greater clarity. And so I realize something deeper. To slow down the mind is to see the answers that were always there. Most people are stuck in mental traffic, believing that the only way forward is the one they see others taking. They doubt that another, better way exists. But the moment one slows down, thinks, and observes, the illusion is broken. There's always another way.
That is a profound realization, Dashta. If one sees that there is another way, one outside the crowded, conditioned path, how does one find it? How does one step off the mental highway and onto the path of clarity?
When you sit by a river and watch the water flow, you notice something unusual. Thinking stops. You are no longer caught in the rush of thoughts. There is only the movement of water, the sound of its flow, the dance of light on the surface. And in that moment there is peace. Now ask yourself, why is there no thinking? What about this moment makes the mind quiet? And then ask the deeper question. If I can slow my thinking simply by watching a river, why can't I do it at other times? The answer is simple. It is not the river that stops your thinking. It is your awareness. In that moment, you are not caught in thought. You are just observing. There is no resistance, no analysis, no effort, just presence. This means that the ability to slow down thought is always within you. It is not something that happens by accident, nor is it dependent on the river, the sky, or any external moment. It is a state that can be chosen. When you understand this, you no longer need a river to find stillness. You can be that stillness anywhere.
That is a profound realization, Dashta. If the ability to slow the mind is always within us, how does one practice this consciously? How does one step out of the thinking mind and into this state of presence at will?
To practice is to add another chore to your daily routine. But ask yourself, do I need more chores or do I need less work to do? Most of the time, doing less is doing more. Instead of trying to practice stillness, simply watch the thinking mind. Watching is not an activity, it is a natural phenomenon. A river does not try to flow, it just flows. The sky does not try to be vast, it simply is. And in the same way, awareness does not try to observe, it just observes. There is nothing to force, nothing to control, nothing to perfect. Simply see the mind as it moves, without interfering, without resisting. That is the secret. It is not about doing, it is about being.